Listen to this divisive enemy of the people of South Africa.
For that, we remain committed to BBBEE. We're going to continue to improve it because it is the black people who are facing serious oppression in this country.
Imagine that. Paul Mashatile is telling you that for you to come out of poverty, you will have to wait for some white-owned company to give you shares. Mashatile and his fellow comrades want you to think that without getting a managerial position or ownership in white-owned companies, there is no room for you to prosper as a black South African. So tell me, did all the black people who got out of poverty and made it in life do so through BEE? Did all the black people who became millionaires or billionaires get there through BEE? That is rubbish. Also tell me this. What are the odds of you getting such a lazy opportunity? What are the odds that you will get to be given shares in any of the white-owned entities in this country? There are over 51 million black people in this country. What are the odds that you will become the next little Ramaphosa that is a billionaire through BEE? What are the odds of you becoming a BEE billionaire like Patrice Motsepe? What are the odds that you will get the tenders that got Babita Deokaran killed? Are you even willing to compete with organized criminals for tenders in hospitals like Tembisa? Are you willing to risk getting killed or going to jail for those BEE tender riches? Because that is the only other way. For you to get a BEE deal is like a lottery that is rigged against you. You have to be in the ANC to get it, and even then you have to be willing to suck up to the big wigs or worse, kill or be killed. So what are the odds of you getting that BEE deal? How many people do you really think get the BEE deals? Another question I have is, if indeed BEE is a solution to take the millions of poor black South Africans from poverty to riches, why has it not done so? I mean, BEE has been in effect since 1994. How many people have been taken from poverty to riches through BEE in these 31 years? How many do you know personally? Take time and think about it.
It is the black people who are poor, who are unemployed in their majority. And the policies that must better their lives must never be compromised by anyone, including those who are in alliance with us.
Does this man really believe this deception, or is he simply clinging onto a destructive policy that brings nothing but devastation to our people with the hopes that talking this way will get him the votes in 2026 and 2029? Some of you believe the lies that Paul Mashatile is spewing here, and you don't get what I mean when I say BEE has caused devastation for our people. So please allow me to remind you. Because of BEE, 32 Hammanskraal residents died from cholera, while taxpayers paid 291 million rands for that. The responsibility to upgrade and refurbish the critical Rooiwal water treatment plant to ensure clean, consumable water and proper sanitation for Hammanskraal residents was given to Comrade Edwin Sodi as a BEE tender. I don't know about you, but I would consider this to be devastating for those 32 families, for the Hammanskraal residents who were deprived of safe water, and for the rest of South Africa that lost 291 million rands in taxes. Millions that could have been directed to service delivery for citizens.
It's been months since the deadly cholera outbreak in Hammanskraal, Pretoria. In fact, the Rooiwal waste treatment plant was at the center of the water contamination crisis to complete upgrades. Now, at least 23 people have already died in Hammanskraal because of the cholera outbreak.
We have failed the people of Hammanskraal. We have failed you. Even though investigations are still being made to investigate and to find out exactly what led to the death of people and where the source of this cholera was.
Those answers would never come.
That's not all. The residents of the Free State were subjected to living in homes with dangerous asbestos roofs even after the same BEE comrade Edwin Sodi was given 255 million rand to identify, audit and replace the asbestos roofs to protect the people's health.
The much anticipated trial is set for April until June. Ace Magashule, Edwin Sodi, Former Human Settlements MEC Olim Lamleli and others face charges of fraud, corruption, money laundering, and contravention of the Public Finance Management Act. Former Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane found that the asbestos roof removal contract was not cost-effective. To date, more than 30,000 houses still have asbestos roofs in the Free State. The contract was awarded to a joint venture, Blackhead Consulting and Diamond Hill Trading, in October 2014.
Not only was the contract awarded irregularly, but the work was reportedly done by a subcontractor for 21 million rand, allowing Edwin Sodi's Blackhead Consulting to pocket a profit of around 200 million rand without delivering the required service, leaving asbestos roofs in place. Mashatile claims that BBBEE benefits poor black people. Can someone please show me how these two examples benefited poor black people? From where I'm standing, there were taxes made available to improve the lives of the black people of Hammanskraal and of Free State. But through BBBEE, those taxes were directed at a handful of black people. That is Edwin Sodi and the comrades whose pockets he lines. Now bear in mind that Edwin Sodi is not the only BBBEE beneficiary. He just happens to be one of the well-known ones. In case you forgot, through the BBBEE tenders, Edwin Sodi was given an additional 517 million rand by the Gauteng provincial government projects, and this was for various projects or infrastructure projects that range from schools, and that was Barcelona Primary School and Vernaching Gymnasium Secondary School, health centers such as Lehigh Community Health Center and Kalafong Hospital, human settlements such as the Desmond Tutu Child and Youth Care Center. Now, these seem like very good initiatives, right? They seem like initiatives that would have uplifted some black people from poverty. But from the 2 billion that Edwin Sodi got through BBBEE, that is 2 billion of our taxes, by the way, please show me the black people that were actually lifted from poverty, except for Yena, Edwin Sodi, the ANC comrades and government officials that he gave bribes to in order to get the tenders, as well as his eyes boys and slay queens. Now, while I wait for you to send me that information to info@citizenconcern.co.za, please allow me to show you a black community that was supposed to be lifted from poverty, that is through education. Unfortunately, the money budgeted to build them the school was given to Edwin Sodi, and this is where the community ended up, devastated by BBBEE.
Yes, ma'am.
Ikolo kakhulu ngizele isikolo sase Barcelona sibizwa Barcelona Primary School. Comrade uPanyaza uyasazi ngamehlo, and then nalo mayor wethu ongene comrade angenile esikhundleni sakhe manje uyasazi, nalo wena baba ongenile esikhundleni sakhe uyayazi lesikolo lesiyana ukuthi asisikolo amagogoko. President, sihambile lesikolo lesi saka 1996, lesikolo lesiyana ku amagogoko. Sizamile ukuthi sihambe wonke ama department. Sengizokutshela into ya leviki lena manje. Ngile lapha e-district ngafika ngakhuluma no director laphayana, ngimbuza director ngoba ulokhu uyasemisa siyamacha siyenzani. Mangabheka leskipa sami lena president, sina nogogo ohlele ebhaketeni ayithuma ngoba abantwana bethu ithi makufanele ukuthi badle ingene imoto bukhona lama toilet la wenu lana kuza imoto izowaklina bukhona lama toilet la. President, lama toilet la ngila ngawalwela uPanyaza uyazi umntwana ami ukuthi ngilwela kakhulu kabe ngalama toilet ukuthi bawasusa lama toilet lawo, mara abakasiyakhe namanje lesikolo lesi saka 1996 namanje asikakakhiwa. President, njoba ngiphethe izithombe lezi ngifuna ukukunikeza zona esandleni uhambe nazo uzibone.
Yes, ma.
Angifuna ukukhuluma into
Yes, ma.
yakusasa.
Thank you
Ngifuna
very much.
ukuze
Thank you very much, ma.
Lesi.
Thank you very much. Letha-ke ne-microphone.
Ngiyakhombisa ukuthi bengihleli zonke zithathe president. Ngifuna ukuthi uzibone. Mina ngikhalela isikolo president.
All right.
Athi isikolo president.
All right.
Isikolo ngibuye eJohannesburg.
All right.
Ngiyobashela ukuthi mabakhe isikolo.
All right. Mama ufuna isikolo.
Ngicela izukulu zami.
All right, ma.
Isikolo.
Thank you. Khawula president.
Ngiyacela.
Thank you.
Banyaza, mntana wami.
Banyaza, sukuma na uzokhawula umama.
Ngiyacela
Oh,
Banyaza akheni iBarcelona Primary School.
All right, ma, rutlwile. Thank you. Tlisa microphone wakhe. Phindela le.
517 million rand was budgeted for this and various other projects across Gauteng, but only about 25 million was reportedly spent, indicating widespread non-delivery or failure to complete projects. Do you see the devastation that I'm talking about? What is worse is that when their comrades who benefit from BEE lack the love and the Ubuntu for the people that they are meant to serve, the ANC does nothing. The thieves experience no shame. When these BEE tenderpreneurs destroy the lives of many poor South Africans, the ANC does not call them out. They just come back to the poor South Africans to tell them new lies. The lives of South Africans from various walks of life are negatively affected through these BEE scandals, and we are supposed to just blindly support BEE.
What I have uncovered is that most people in our villages do have asbestos. They are not aware of the health implications of asbestos, which is a problem. When we go to other houses, we actually find out that the houses have been paid for so that the roofing can be removed, but it's not yet done. I believe what went wrong is that we deploy wrong people who do not care about the community. Once we know people who care about the community, we'll be able to deploy people who are able to do the job. You can't tell me that as an MEC, you're not aware of what's happening around your department. People are angry. They're angry at the fact that they've been living in these houses for so long. Their children are also inheriting those houses. Yet, money is being spent for these houses. They are very, very angry. They're frustrated with the government. It's very concerning as an ANC member that we are enabling this sort of, we seem to be enabling this sort of behavior instead of speaking out, because once you know the ANC, when you have grown up in the ANC, you are taught that you are a leader of society, that when your neighbor is ill, you must take responsibility for that. When your neighbor is hungry, you must also take responsibility for that. Now, when you see leaders that have been deployed by us doing that to the very same people that they expect them to vote for them again, it's totally unfair. It's painful for us to go and do door-to-doors with the same, every 5 years we go to the same houses with the same problems. Nothing gets done. It's totally out of order. It's wrong. It's inhuman for us to expect people not to be angry with the ANC at this moment. It's terrible. It's very painful for us.
The lives of poor black South Africans are devastated, all while budgets are available to improve their conditions. But that money, instead of improving the lives, goes to buying the BBBEE beneficiaries luxury vehicles and mansions, parties and slay queens. Yet somehow we are meant to say, yes, hooray, thank you ANC for BEE.
A Bentley, a Ferrari and a Porsche belonging to Edwin Sodi and his company Blackhead Consulting were attached today by the Asset Forfeiture Unit in Bryanston in Johannesburg. Sodi is at the centre of the asbestos roofing scandal in the Free State. His company was awarded the bulk of a more than 250 million rand contract to identify dangerous asbestos roofs to be replaced. But by all accounts, the work was was not done properly, and it's alleged that money changed hands to allow Sodi to secure the work. The cars form part of assets worth millions of rand that the state is attaching in the case of corruption against not only him but 7 business people and government officials.
Billions of our rands are lost every year due to BBBEE scandals, and you're supposed to listen to this man who himself is rich through shady means. Huh?
In June 2022, 2 companies named Ngwata and Manzi Group and Modipadi Nokaneng were awarded a panel contract by the Gauteng Department of Infrastructure Development to service fire sprinklers and fire alarms at public hospitals across the province. The 2 companies are deeply linked to Paul Mashatile's sons, Tinyiko Mvalase and Tabiso Mashatile. Since 2022, the 2 companies have been paid 38 million rand and are owed a further 12 million rand for the work that they've done. News 24 was approached by about a dozen workers who were retrenched from Ngwata and Manzi Group. Since September 2024, Mashatile's sons have been promising to pay them. They are owed just under 220,000 rand in accumulated settlement payments. To date, they still have not been paid that money.
Houses worth tens of millions, meanwhile you continue to support this nonsense.
We've zoomed in on Paul Mashatile's declaration of a palatial 28.9 million rand house in Constantia as his own, even though it's not actually owned by him. It is owned by his son-in-law, Ngeba Nonkwelo. The property was purchased in May of 2023, just a few months after Nonkwelo had funded the purchase of a 37 million rand house in Waterfall in Midrand in Johannesburg. The declaration is part of Mashatile's annual requirement to report his assets and income-generating activities to Parliament. This is outside of his normal salary as the Deputy President.
Let us just be honest and serious here, please, South Africans.
Hundreds of millions of rand worth of assets have been seized for asbestos corruption-linked businessman Edwin Sodi.
Right. Now, if you look at some of the numbers, the cost of removal of one roof would stand at about, at the time, 600 rand per unit. Now, when you look at these luxury vehicles that were seized, they come up at about 10 million rand in total. Some of those vehicles retailing for as much as 2 million each. So certainly very high-end stuff. And if these vehicles were to be sold to about 17,000 asbestos roofs could be removed and replaced from low-cost housing in the affected community. So those are certainly very large numbers, and they speak to...
I think those who still support BBBEE are in one of 3 categories. 1, they're genuinely blind and deceived. 2, they're already benefiting from BBBEE. 3, they aspire to one day benefit from BBBEE and do stupid things like this. Many want BBBEE not to improve their lives, their families or communities, but rather to drink thousands, millions and billions in clubs buying alcohol as if they have no sense. What are we talking about when we say black people are poor exactly? What poverty is this? Mind you, this guy is not one of a few. He's one of many black people who have opportunities to make money, and then they use their money in this way. That money, whether legally or illegally earned, could have started a business. Businesses have been started with way less. 10,000 rand is enough to start something that becomes a giant in a few years. But no, let's drink it all. 16,700 gone in one night on alcohol. Let's buy mansions or alcohol, Italian clothes and shoes or German cars because we want to be like white people. Which white people? The few white people who are wealthy are not representative of the entire white race in South Africa. And many of the wealthy ones don't engage in the senseless and wasteful behavior. Despite what the comrades tell you, many white South Africans cannot afford to blow 10,000 rand on alcohol in one night. They cannot afford Pagani Zondas and Range Rovers. They are just like you and I. Do not blame white people for your troubles. It's you and the ANC. It's the way you vote and the way you handle the resources you have, whether big or small. You think you'll win when you live like this, but you won't. Stop mixing with people who tell you otherwise.
O rata re be comfortable, o re ratela dilo tse smart, and then one check every day, all the time, and o rata di surprises. A ka no tla fela a re mama test driver koloi ka test driver fetsa re ke hao.
Jerry is known as a hard-working, tender entrepreneur, a farmer, and owner of a VIP protection service company. He has a taste for finer things in life. Just before he was kidnapped, he bought himself a Porsche worth 6 million rand.
I'm dying. This is too serious. Please help me. I get messages that Jerry's best friend, Kat Vusimatala, is the one who is involved in this kidnapping. And I feel so bad, and it hurt me so much that I know Vusi. I've met Vusi. I know Vusi Matala's wife. I was once sitting at the same table having lunch with Vusi Matala's wife. If that is the case, Vusi, can you be so cruel?
Stop valuing wasteful lifestyles. Empower yourself to become better at your job or start your own business with that 16,000. Or you can just drink it all and hope BEE will save you. But I hope you won't. The fact is, Mashatile is talking nonsense. If you don't know it, then ask yourself how many BEE opportunities you see flying around and who you know that actually gets them. The evidence is there. The BEE world has turned into a mafia world for the ANC comrades and their connections. Bomam Keys and the characters within the construction mafia.
Payment of 371,553 rand to Paul Mashatile. What is that about?
That's a payment that was made directly to the ANC.
For what reason?
From time to time, Chair, we get requests to assist, with donations, and that happens.
Stay away from it because one way or another you will end up in trouble. You'll either be jailed or you will be killed.
A warrant of arrest was issued for accused 5 Diamond Hill trading representative after failing to make it to court without an apology. This is the company owned by the late Piccolomzi Igum Pambani. Pambani was shot dead and sent in July 2017 in a suspected hit. The state alleges that between June 2015 and January 2016, Magashule either received or benefited from unlawful payments of more than 1 million rand from Pambani.
If you pursue this, that will be your lot in life. So please stay away from it and stop supporting it. Anyway, that's it for today. Please share this video with many citizens who are still deceived by Mashatile's lies. Many citizens who still support Mamkize and Sodi's lifestyles. And to support the work that we do, please visit www.citizenconcern.co.za to buy our merchandise or to join our membership. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.